I'm gonna you up. Shut your face.
Every bully thinks they're untouchable until they pick on someone who's been holding back. Whether it's a quiet kid with hidden powers, a retired badass, or someone who just snapped after years of taking it. These are the moments when bullies learnt the hardest lesson of their lives. Some people fight back, and when they do, it's legendary.
Come on, Chrissy.
Knock it off.
Sit down.
Let me go.
Hey, leave her alone, man.
Or what, tough guy?
Clark Kent is working at a roadside diner, trying to keep a low profile and live a normal life. A trucker comes in and starts harassing one of the waitresses, being loud, crude and aggressive. When Clark politely asks him to stop, the trucker humiliates him in front of everyone, pouring an entire beer over Clark's head while mocking him.
I think I'll probably just leave when I'm good and ready. Oh, there he is.
Clark has to walk away because if he retaliates physically, he'd kill the man. He's literally Superman holding back every ounce of his power to avoid hurting people.
I think I'll probably just leave when I'm good and ready. Oh, there he is.
But later, after the trucker leaves, Clark spots the guy's massive commercial truck in the parking lot. The truck can take what the trucker couldn't. Clark proceeds to completely destroy this man's expensive rig. He impales it with wooden logs, crushes the cab, bends metal, and turns what was probably a $150,000 vehicle into useless scrap. The trucker comes out to find his livelihood absolutely demolished and has no idea who did it or how it's even physically possible. Clark got his revenge without ever laying a finger on anyone, and the bully learns that humiliating strangers can cost you everything. The beautiful irony is the weak guy who he poured beer on just casually destroyed several tons of metal with his bare hands, and the trucker will never know it was him.
Hey, you having a little bit of trouble, are we? Keep tugging that thing and it just might pop. So long, losers!
Pennywise has been terrorizing the children of Derry for decades in this prequel series, feeding on their fear and killing them one by one. Throughout the season, the entity seems unstoppable, appearing in different forms to traumatize and murder kids who have no one to protect them. In the season finale, when Pennywise believes he's won and the children are scattered and broken, Richie returns at the crucial moment. The kids band together for a final confrontation, and instead of running or giving in to their terror, they fight back as a united group. They realize that Pennywise's power comes from their fear and isolation, and when they stand together and refuse to be afraid, they put the pillar in its place. Using their combined courage and the strength they find within each other, they manage to defeat the ancient evil in a climactic battle. Pennywise has fed on Derry's children for generations, always winning because his victims faced him terrified and alone. But these kids figured that out together, refusing to give him the fear he needs. They're stronger than he is. The entity that's been the ultimate bully of Derry finally meets children who won't back down, and it costs him everything. It's the ultimate reversal. The predator becomes the prey when his victims stop being victims.
Afraid anymore.
Vecna has spent the entire final season of Stranger Things tormenting Hawkins, killing teenagers through psychological torture and attempting to merge the Upside Down with the real world. He's targeted Joyce Byers' family multiple times throughout the series, and she's watched this monster destroy her town and hurt the people she loves. After an epic final battle where the entire group manages to weaken Vecna significantly, it's Joyce who delivers the finishing blow. She picks up an axe or bladed weapon and literally decapitates the weakened villain, severing his head from his body and ending his reign of terror permanently.
The wrong family.
This is the same woman who fought a Demogorgon with a baseball bat and Christmas lights in season 1, who traveled to Russia to rescue Hopper, who's faced down every supernatural threat to protect her children. Vecna believed he was reshaping reality and that no one could stop him, but he underestimated a mother who's been fighting monsters for years and has nothing left to lose. Joyce doesn't hesitate, doesn't give a big speech, just ends him. After everything Vecna put Hawkins through, after all the kids he killed and the trauma he caused, Joyce Byers makes sure he never hurts anyone again. You don't terrorize a town, threaten children, and expect the mom who survived every season of supernatural horror to just let you walk away.
Wake up! Go away! I just want this to be over.
We do this like men.
Fine. Like men.
Paulie is a massive enforcer who's been causing serious problems throughout season 3, using his intimidating size and brute strength to hurt people and get his way. He's the kind of guy who's never lost a fight because he's simply bigger and meaner than anyone he faces, and he's built a reputation on physical dominance. When he finally confronts Jack Reacher in the season finale, he's confident this will go like every other fight in his life. He'll overpower his opponent through sheer size and violence. Paulie is huge, but Reacher is smart, and more importantly, Reacher is a former military police officer who's been trained in hand-to-hand combat and has been taking down dangerous people his entire adult life. The fight is brutal, but Reacher uses superior technique, tactical thinking, and overwhelming strategies to systematically break Paulie down. Every punch and idea lands with devastating effect, and you can see the moment Paulie realizes that he's not the best guy anymore. He's facing someone who's all of that, plus actually skilled. Reacher doesn't just beat him, he makes him destroy himself, proving that being a large thug means nothing when you're up against someone who's smart, better trained, and has been ending threats like you for decades. Paulie spent his whole life bullying people with his size, and he picked the one person who completely outclasses him where it matters.
What's up?
This seem familiar, fucker?
Cooper gets jumped and beaten by a group of men who think they can assault him without facing any consequences. They likely believe that in their world, violence goes unanswered and they can get away with hurting whoever they want. What they didn't factor into their plans is Tommy, who cares deeply about Cooper and isn't the kind of man who lets attacks on his people slide. When Tommy finds out what happened, he tracks down the men responsible and confronts them directly. Now, this isn't a conversation or a warning. Tommy came for revenge. He proceeds to beat them down with focused aggression, making absolutely sure each of them understands the pain they inflicted and it feels multiplied. Tommy's not interested in a fair fight. He's interested in making a statement that attacking Cooper was the worst mistake that these men could have made. The beating is thorough and personal, and by the end, the attackers are broken and bleeding, fully aware that their actions had serious consequences that they never anticipated. These guys thought they could jump someone and walk away clean, but they learned that hurting the wrong person's friend brings a very specific kind of payback.
You get on your phone and call your friends. You know, the ones that you called that put my son in the hospital.
Me and my boys are taking him to the back.
You okay, I'd appreciate that.
Oh, well, come on.
Check out this greedy little freak.
Please, I need to get back to the...
Come here.
Eugene Ottinger is a sweet, nerdy student at Nevermore Academy who's obsessed with beekeeping and is an easy target for the school's bullies. A group of students have been tormenting him, likely thinking that because he's awkward and keeps to himself that they can pick on him without consequences. They didn't account for Wednesday Addams taking an interest in Eugene. When Wednesday witnesses the bullying, she doesn't ask them nicely to stop or report them to administration. She intervenes in the most Wednesday way possible.
Howdy, pilgrims. Let him go.
What, do you want to end up in the stocks too?
Remember what happened the last time we did this dance?
She confronts the bullies directly with their threats, psychological intimidation, and probably promises of creative violence that make it absolutely clear what will happen if they continue. Wednesday doesn't experience fear like normal people, considers darkness and danger fascinating, and has zero tolerance for people who abuse those weaker than themselves. The bullies realize very quickly that they've made a terrible mistake. They're now on the radar of someone who genuinely unsettles them and who will follow through on her threats. Eugene gets a fiercely protective friend, and the bullies learn that at Nevermore Academy, picking on the wrong person's friend can be legitimately dangerous when that friend is homicidal Adams.
Get her!
They say God doesn't close one door without opening another. Please, God, open that door.
Hutch Mansell looks like an average, unremarkable middle-aged suburban dad riding the public bus home after a long day. A group of drunk, aggressive thugs board the bus and immediately start causing problems, harassing other passengers. When they focus their attention on Hutch, they see what they think is an easy passive target, just someone tired who won't fight back. They start getting physical, harassing innocent people, and they escalate further with that woman, thinking they've found someone they can beat up for fun.
What do we have here? This girl's gonna get home safe tonight. I hope these assholes like hospital food.
What these thugs don't know is that Hutch is a former government auditor, an assassin who's been suppressing his extremely violent skill set for years to live a normal family life. When they push things too far and threaten to hurt other passengers, something inside Hutch snaps and years of restraint evaporate. What follows is one of the most brutal and satisfying beatdowns in recent action cinema. Hutch systematically destroys every single one of them using the confined bus space to his advantage. He slams them into poles, breaks bones with precise strikes, uses the seats and handrails as weapons, and moves with the efficiency of someone who's done this thousands of times. These drunk idiots thought they were attacking a harmless victim and instead got a masterclass in violence from a trained killer who's forgotten more about fighting than they'll ever learn. By the end, they're all bloody and broken, and Hutch is just getting started with his reawakening.
Hey guys, you know that billboard with a big on it? I guess Sam takes after her dad.
Miguel Diaz has been enduring relentless bullying from Kyler and his crew since he started his new school. They pushed him around, stolen his lunch money, humiliated him in front of girls, and made his life miserable because he's the new kid who doesn't know how to fight back. Then, Johnny Lawrence begins training Miguel in Cobra Kai karate, and everything changes. When Kyler starts his usual harassment routine in the crowded school cafeteria during lunch, Miguel doesn't back down like he used to.
Hey, Kyler! Why don't you shut the hell up and stop being...
Instead, he uses everything Johnny taught him and proceeds to demolish Kyler's entire gang in front of the whole school. He flips Kyler over a lunch table, takes out his friends with precise strikes, and handles multiple opponents like he's been training for years instead of just weeks.
I'm ready for your lame squad this time.
It's not karate. It's Cobra Kai.
The cafeteria goes silent as everyone watches the kid they've all seen getting bullied systematically destroy the school's most feared bully and his crew. Kyler is humiliated, his reputation is shattered, and Miguel establishes himself as someone nobody wants to mess with anymore. It's the defining moment where Miguel transforms from victim to fighter and the entire school hierarchy shifts. The bullies learn that their intimidation tactics don't work once someone actually learns how to fight back.
When to quit, do you, bro?
I'm gonna teach your ass a lesson. That's what you need.
Stop! Go!
The f you looking at, old man? Huh?
The hell these spooks up to?
Walt Kowalski is a grumpy, prejudiced Korean War veteran who initially wants nothing to do with his neighbors. When he witnesses a local gang harassing innocent women on the street in broad daylight, something in Walt's sense of justice kicks in. The gang's your typical street thugs who think they can intimidate anyone in the neighborhood without consequences, using numbers and aggressive posturing to bully people into submission. They're harassing their victim verbally and physically, making her uncomfortable when Walt approaches. He doesn't try to reason with them or ask them to leave. He walks up carrying his rifle and makes it absolutely clear through his body language, tone, and complete lack of fear that the harassment stops immediately or people will die.
Ever notice how you come across somebody once in a while that you shouldn't have with?
hell?
Walt is a man who's seen actual combat, killed people in war, and these amateur street thugs recognize they're facing someone who will absolutely follow through on his threats without hesitation. His demeanor so intimidating and his willingness to use violence so evident that the dudes back down immediately and leave. Walt establishes himself as the one person in the neighborhood who can't be intimidated, and the bullies learn that threatening people under his protection is a very bad life choice. This scene kicks off Walt's protective relationship with his neighbors and shows that sometimes the best defense against bullies is someone scarier than they are.
Don't listen, do you? Now get in the truck.
I'll get in the truck first.
Way to go, old man.
Shut up.
I'm sorry, that seat's taken.
It is now, sweetheart.
Excuse me, sir. I think you're sitting in my seat.
Your seat's in there, Four Eyes.
Gee, I think perhaps somebody ought to teach you some manners, sir.
In Superman 2, Clark Kent gives up his powers to be with Lois Lane and live as a normal human. Shortly after becoming fully mortal, they stop at a roadside diner where a large, aggressive trucker starts causing trouble. When the bully bothers Lois, Clark tries to intervene and the trucker proceeds to beat him up in front of everyone in the diner. Clark, who's now completely powerless, takes a genuine beating, getting punched, thrown around and humiliated because he's literally just a regular guy who doesn't know how to fight. He and Lois leave in shame.
Just don't have enough sense to stay down, do you?
I don't like your meat anyway.
Later, after Clark regains his powers and does his thing like always, he returns to the exact same diner. The same bully's there, being his usual aggressive self.
Give me another plate of this garbage.
Garbage? That's my #1 special.
Gee, that's funny. I've never seen garbage eat garbage before.
When he sees Clark, he starts his intimidation routine again, expecting the same easy victim from before. This time though, Clark doesn't need to use his full Superman strength. He just uses enough power to completely wreck the guy with one perfect move, sending him sliding down the entire length of the bar into a pinball machine. It's petty, it's perfect, and it is deeply satisfying. The bully spent their first encounter thinking he was tough for beating up a weak guy, never knowing that the weak guy was literally the most powerful being on Earth who was temporarily depowered. Clark got his revenge without even breaking a sweat, and the trucker learned that the mild-mannered man he humiliated could have killed him as easily as breathing.
This order's to go.
Eleven is trying to start fresh in California, attending a normal school and attempting to fit in without using her powers. Angela, the most popular girl at school, has been making Elle's life absolutely miserable. I'm talking about mocking her clothes, her social awkwardness, her background, and generally making her the school's primary target for humiliation. Elle endures it because she wants to be normal and doesn't want to reveal what she can do. The bullying escalates when Angela puts together a cruel presentation at the roller rink that mocks Elle in front of everyone, complete with mean jokes and public humiliation.
Wipe out!
Didn't you see the sign, dummy? No food or drinks on the rink.
Something in Elle snaps here. She picks up a roller skate and smashes Angela directly in the face with it, breaking her nose in a spray of blood while everyone watches in shock. Angela collapses, screaming and bleeding, and suddenly the entire school realizes the quiet, weird girl they've been tormenting isn't someone to mess with. Elle loses control in that moment, letting her anger override her desire to fit in, and Angela pays the price. The scene is shocking because it's so violent, and because we've watched Elle try so hard to be normal despite the relentless cruelty. Angela learned the absolute hardest way that bullying someone with telekinetic powers, even if you don't know they have them, is a catastrophically bad idea. Sometimes the quiet kid is quiet because they're holding back something dangerous.
Angela!
Angela, you okay? Angela, you okay?
What did she?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, what do we do?
After Hutch's bus incident goes viral and attracts the wrong kind of attention, professional hitmen are sent to his suburban home to kill him and his entire family. These are trained assassins who have researched their target and believe they're going after someone who got lucky in a bar fight, just a regular civilian who'll be an easy kill. What they don't know is that Hutch comes from a family of killers. When the hit team breaks into David's room at the facility, they find themselves facing a man who isn't just from an elite squad of retired government operatives, but also a true badass. David, despite being elderly, uses his weapons, taking out armed professional killers with brutal efficiency and decades of experience. He uses weapons, no combat, and tactical positioning to eliminate threats, proving that age is irrelevant when you have a lifetime of training in killing people. The hitman came expecting an easy suburban family and instead walked into a trap occupied by a retired assassin who's been living a quiet life. David helps turn what should have been a massacre into a killing field for the attackers. The professional killers thought they were bullying and eliminating a civilian, but they made the fatal mistake of attacking a man who used to do this for a living and is very good at it. Wrong house, wrong family, catastrophically wrong choice.
Come on, Davey. Please turn that shit down.
Jack, Amos, and I had the science fair project idea that we wanted to work on together.
Okay, maybe we can switch.
No.
What?
No, it's okay. I'll stay with who I've got.
August Oggy Pullman has severe facial differences due to medical conditions, and when he starts attending regular school, he faces bullying from several students, particularly Julian. Jack Will becomes Oggy's friend early on, but he faces social pressure from Julian and the popular kids to distance himself and join in the mockery. For a while, the friendship is complicated, and Jack even says something hurtful about Oggy at one point that could easily damage their relationship. But when Julian continues his relentless, cruel comments about Oggy's appearance and makes particularly vicious remarks, Jack finally has enough. He punches Julian in the face, choosing his friendship with Oggy over being popular with the bullies.
Hey, what did you do that for?
Dude, I don't want to switch.
Why not? Do you really want to be partners with that freak?
It's not a dramatic extended fight, just one solid punch that makes a clear statement about where Jack stands. As a result, Jack faces social consequences and gets in trouble with the school, but he doesn't regret it because standing up for his real friend matters more than fitting in with cruel people. Julian learns that his bullying has actual consequences, and Jack proves that true friendship means being willing to fight for people even when it costs you something socially. Sometimes one punch is all it takes to show a bully that someone is willing to stand up and fight back and that their cruelty won't go unanswered.
Why I did what I did. It might get Julian in trouble too, and that's not fair. Sincerely, Jack Will.
Get off! Get off me!
Let him go! Let him go!
Stay back! All right, cut it!
Dude, Troy Walsh in Stranger Things Season 1 is genuinely one of the most hateable bullies ever to be put on screen. Like, this kid isn't your typical school jerk. He's straight up forcing Mike to jump off a cliff in episode 6. Now, let me set this up for you, okay? Mike and Dustin are out in the woods searching for Eleven after she ran away, and Troy and his buddy James corner them at Sattler Quarry. Troy pulls out a knife, holds it to Dustin's teeth, and tells Mike to jump off the cliff or he's cutting Dustin's teeth out.
Wet yourself.
What?
Jump. Our toothless here gets an early trip to the dentist.
No.
Mike actually jumps to save his friend. That's how far Troy pushed it. But just when you think Mike's about to hit the water and die, Eleven shows up and catches him midair with her powers, levitating him back to safety. Then she just tilts her head, looks at Troy with those cold eyes, and snaps his arm backwards with her mind. You can hear the bone break and Troy's scream is absolutely priceless. The look on both bullies' faces when they realize what just happened is incredible. All their courage just drains away instantly. Eleven barely even tries. She's just done with this kid's garbage, and Troy never bothers them again after this. I can't say I blame him though.
Ah! She broke my arm! My arm!
Go.
Ladies and dudes, I swear to you, she can kill.
I can state the obvious. Something tells me you aren't in much of a position to be making stupid threats to anyone.
The 2003 Hulk movie gets a lot of hate, but the scene where Major Talbot pushes Bruce Banner too far is genuinely intense. So Glenn Talbot is this military contractor who wants to weaponize Bruce's research and turn the Hulk into a profitable weapon. He's been harassing Bruce throughout the film, being aggressive and threatening. When Talbot confronts Bruce trying to extract samples from him, Bruce literally warns him multiple times to back off, that he's making him angry.
Talbot, yeah? You're making me angry.
Oh, am I?
Talbot's ego won't let him stop though. He keeps pushing, taunting Bruce about Betty leaving him, trying to trigger a transformation. Bruce even delivers the iconic line, "You're making me angry," but Talbot just mocks him. Then Bruce transforms, and Talbot goes from smug tough guy absolutely terrified in seconds. The Hulk ragdolls him like a toy, treating him like he weighs nothing. It's a perfect example of someone's arrogance getting checked by reality in the most brutal way possible. You could see the exact moment Talbot realized he'd made a catastrophic mistake.
If I may, a toast to our host.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
A Bronx Tale has one of the most iconic bully beatdowns in cinema history. This biker gang called Satan's Messengers roll up to Sonny's bar thinking they own the place. They're loud, obnoxious, ordering drinks, and then they spray their beers all over the bar like complete animals. What they don't know is that Sonny Lespecchio, played by Chaz Palminteri, is basically the mob boss of the Bronx. Sonny calmly walks over and tells them they need to leave. The bikers laugh at him, tell them that they'll leave when they want to, and mock him as he walks to the door. Then, Sonny locks the front door from inside. He turns around and delivers one of the coldest lines ever. "Now yous can't leave."
Now you can't leave.
The camera pans across all 8 bikers' faces, and you can see the exact moment they realize they've just made a fatal mistake.
A reputation for breaking up bars. But they knew that instant they made a fatal mistake. This time they walked into the wrong bar.
These guys had a reputation for breaking up bars, but they knew instantly they'd walked into the wrong one. It's brutal and satisfying because these guys were just asking for it. The confidence in Sonny's delivery of that line is just perfect.
Command. Hey, short stack.
You ready? Sean, you're up. Who you want?
I want short stack, coach.
Short stack. All right.
Superman and Lois Season 1 Episode 3 has this great moment where Jordan Kent, Superman's son, who's developing powers, joins the football team and teaches bullies a lesson. Sean and his crew have been tormenting Jordan constantly, and Jordan's sick of it.
Every time I see you, you're flirting with my girlfriend. Look, I don't know what you're talking about.
During football practice, Sean challenges Jordan, probably expecting to embarrass him again, but Jordan's got that Kryptonian strength now. Jordan absolutely levels Sean, knocking him flat on his back in front of everyone. But here's what makes it great. After dominating him on the field, Jordan helps Sean back up. He actually earned Sean's respect by being the bigger person. Clark's watching from the stands the whole time though, and he's not overly happy that his son's using his power to gain an advantage. It's a satisfying moment though because Jordan finally gets to stand up for himself after being bullied, but it's also handled maturely with Jordan showing sportsmanship afterwards.
Shouldn't have kissed her. It wasn't cool. Apologize.
All right.
You guys have 2 choices. You either leave quietly, we take the body. Or you stay, we beat the shit out of you. We take the body.
Stand By Me's final confrontation is tense as hell. So Gordie, Chris, Teddy and Vern have been on this journey to find a dead body. When they finally get there, Ace Merrill and his gang show up to steal their discovery. Ace is your classic older bully. He's got his crew, he's got a knife, and he thinks 4 kids are going to just roll over. He's threatening them, being aggressive, and you can see Gordie's friends are scared.
You're dead.
Come on, Chris, split.
They're not taking
Come on, man, this is crazy.
They're not taking him.
He's got a knife, man.
Then, Gordie pulls out a gun he stole from his dad's drawer and points it right at Ace. The whole dynamic shifts instantly. Gordie's hand is shaking, but his voice is steady when he tells Ace to back off. Ace tries to call his bluff, saying Gordie won't shoot, but Gordie fires a warning shot into the air. Then he points the gun right back at Ace, and you can see in Gordie's eyes that he's absolutely prepared to pull that trigger. Ace finally backs down because he realizes this kid is dead serious. It's not a physical beatdown, but it's incredibly satisfying watching this young kid stand up to a legitimately dangerous bully. The fear in Ace's eyes when he realizes Gordie means business is everything.
They're not taking him. Nobody's taking him.
You ain't got the sack to shoot a woodchuck.
Don't move, Ace. I'll kill you, I swear to God.
Back, dude. What are you It's for my grandma.
Oh, it's for your grandma? Oh, I'm sorry, man. Hey, you want it? Hey, you can take all that shit. Take that. Yeah.
This is the perfect scene that kicked off the whole Cobra Kai series in episode 1, and it's absolutely perfect. Miguel is this scrawny kid getting beaten up by Kyler and his crew outside the store. They're just wailing on him and nobody's even helping. Then Johnny Lawrence, the original bully from the Karate Kid, who's now a washed up alcoholic, comes out and sees what's happening. At first you think he might just walk away, but something in Johnny snaps. He walks over and dismantles all of these bullies.
Who's this dude? Just leave the dork alone. What? See this guy? Eating his dinner at the mini mart like a bum? Get the hell out of here, loser.
Johnny's using classic 80s Cobra Kai moves, just dominating these kids without even trying hard. The bullies scatter and Miguel looks at Johnny like he's just seen a superhero. What makes this scene work so well is that Johnny isn't doing it to be noble. He's half drunk and just sick of seeing punks push people around. It's the moment that inspires Miguel to learn karate and moment Johnny realizes he still has something to offer. The choreography is fantastic, and seeing those modern bullies get absolutely schooled by a middle-aged guy using outdated karate is somehow incredibly satisfying.
What's the matter? Having trouble breathing?
Hey! Get off the kick! Hey! It's not his fault!
Plating flakes, huh?
Yeah?
You know, this is a lease. No one's gonna pay to ride.
The opening of Logan is brutal and sets the tone perfectly. These fools approach Logan's limo trying to steal his wheels. He's old, tired, and just trying to do his job as a driver. He asks them nicely to leave. They don't listen. They start getting aggressive, one of them gets nasty, and Logan just sighs like he's more annoyed than hurt. Then he pops his claws and absolutely butchers all of them. It's not the clean Wolverine fights we see in previous X-Men movies. It's messy, it's violent, and it's desperate. Logan's moving slower, he's getting hurt more than usual, but he's still Wolverine, and these guys picked the absolute wrong person to mess with. The violence is shocking because we're used to PG-13 Wolverine, but this is rated R, and Wolverine is literally cutting these guys apart. They thought they were robbing some old chauffeur, and instead they ran into the most dangerous mutant alive, having a really bad day. It's dark and brutal, but thematically perfect for the movie. The climax of The Karate Kid is iconic for a reason. Daniel's been tormented by Johnny and the Cobra Kai crew for the entire movie. Johnny's injured Daniel during the tournament and he can barely stand. Everyone thinks he's done. Mr. Miyagi asks if he can continue and Daniel says yes.
Looks like you're okay. Can you go on?
Get him a body bag! Yeah! Finish him!
Johnny and his sensei Kreese are fully expecting to destroy Daniel. The final point comes down to Daniel using the crane kick, the move Miyagi taught him. Johnny charges in aggressive and confident, and Daniel nails him right in the face with a kick, winning the tournament. The entire crowd goes wild. Johnny's crew is stunned. Even Johnny hands Daniel the trophy with respect. It's the ultimate underdog victory. Daniel spent the whole movie being bullied and doubted, and in that moment he proves everyone wrong. The crane kick became legendary because it was perfectly set up and perfectly executed. The Lost World Jurassic Park has this dark but satisfying moment with Peter Ludlow. He's the corporate villain who's been treating these dinosaurs like products to exploit. When the baby T-Rex gets injured, Ludlow shows zero empathy. He just sees dollar signs. Later, when everything goes wrong, Ludlow gets cornered by the adult T-Rex and the baby. And yes, he is trapped. The baby T-Rex, the same one Ludlow wanted to exploit, literally practices killing on Ludlow while the parent watches. I mean, it is darkly poetic. The creature he wanted to turn into a commodity becomes the thing that kills him. and he dies slowly and painfully while the family reunites. It's nature's justice in the most brutal way possible. Ludlow's corporate greed and lack of respect for life literally got him killed by the life he disrespected.
Listen, when I tell you to come, you better come. What, are you gonna cry now?
A Christmas Story's bully beatdown is legendary because, well, it's really relatable. Scott Farkas has been terrorizing Ralphie and his friends all movie with his eyes and Toadie's sidekick. Finally, Ralphie just snaps.
Deep in the recesses of my brain, a tiny red-hot little flame began to grow.
After Farkas makes him drop everything, Ralphie tackles him and starts wailing on him, throwing punches while crying and screaming. All the pent-up frustration just comes pouring out. Scott Farkas, this seemingly tough bully, is reduced to crying and it feels good. Ralphie's friends are shocked because Quiet Ralphie just lost it completely. It's cathartic because every kid who's been bullied has fantasized about this exact moment, just completely losing it on their tormentor. The fact that it's presented somewhat comically but also seriously makes it perfect.
Ralphie! Come on. We're going home. Come on.
Rejected!
Purpose, Flash!
No, but I should have. You better watch your back.
The Amazing Spider-Man has this great scene where Peter Parker, now with spider powers, absolutely embarrasses Flash Thompson during a basketball game. Flash has been bullying Peter forever and thinks he's hot stuff on the court.
All right. Give it up, Parker.
Peter's not trying to show off, he's still getting used to his powers, and it goes perfectly. He's owning Flash without effort and casually dunking an impossible move. Flash is getting increasingly frustrated and aggressive, but he literally can't face Peter. The whole gym is watching Flash get schooled by the kid he's been tormenting.
I bring it! Come on, Parker! Come on!
I'll feast on your flesh as I feed on your fear. Or you'll just leave us be.
It finale from 2017 is the ultimate bullies picking the wrong kids moment. Pennywise has been terrorizing the Losers Club all summer, feeding on their fears and killing their friends. In the final confrontation in Pennywise's lair, the clown is at full power and terrifying, but then something shifts. The kids realize that Pennywise's power comes from their fear. They start fighting back, calling Pennywise a fake, nothing but a cheap trick.
We're gonna have to kill this fucking clown.
Welcome to the Losers Club!
That's why you didn't kill Beverly. Because she wasn't afraid. And we aren't either.
As they lose their fear, Pennywise actually gets weaker and smaller. The kids literally beat him down as a group, with each of them getting hits in. Pennywise goes from this terrifying cosmic horror to a pathetic creature, almost begging them to let him live. It's incredibly satisfying because the kids spent the entire movie being terrorized not just by Pennywise but by adult bullies, parent abuse, and their own trauma. Watching them collectively realize they have the power and beat down this evil entity together is the perfect payoff. Fear itself got conquered by friendship and courage.
Now you're the one who's afraid. Because you're gonna starve.
Fear.
Hope you liked the video. Please subscribe to the TV Regent, and here's another video that I know you're going to enjoy.